The fear of death is due to the fear of the loss of an individual that never existed. In the womb, you existed, but you didn't say, I exist, yet you still existed. So you don't need to think you're alive to be alive. You don't need to say, I am this and that to be I am. You can just be as you are. No declarations, no limitations. You see, death is actually a great friend because the past memories are proof of death, proof that we can't hold on to reality as much as we want to. As much as we want to play an omnipotent God that controls our reality at all times, we aren't, because not even God controls his own reality. Because if you can control every reality, then what room is there for spontaneity, for creativity, for something that you've never seen before, for a miracle? You don't think God wants to be surprised by what happens, to enjoy his own show? But when you know how everything's going to happen and that it's never going to end, then you can't enjoy the show because you know how it's going to end and you know how it's going to happen, so you can't really enjoy it. But death is actually a great friend because it gives birth to life. Without death, there is no life, because death allows you to be grateful for life, to see life for what it truly is, beautiful. But if life was just stillness, constantly staying in one moment, constantly staying in one scene of the movie, you can appreciate the entire movie. It's funny, God even gets attached to himself in his own play. Like a man who feels an itch on his back, and he keeps wondering where the itch is, and the whole time it was on his back where he could have scratched it. But it's in a place he can't reach, so the guru has to scratch that itch to bring him back to his true state, which is beyond itching, which is beyond annoyance, which is beyond being protrude by life. One with the Tao, one with that which is. You see, the devotee, he doesn't want to get caught up in this nonsense of worry and attachment to life. From a young age, he's seen, or she has seen, or neither has seen, that life isn't really worth all what people say it is. It gives you glimpses of happiness just to end in destruction. So the devotee becomes crazy in a sense that he sees all the people running over the cliff, saying that they are seeking happiness, while the devotee sits down and enjoys the view. Because the devotee isn't caught up in the rat race of the world. The devotee sits down and listens to the words of the Satguru and basks in silence. The devotee of the Satguru embraces death. He has no fear of death because he has died while alive. The jiva, the individual, fears losing their breath, fears taking their last breath, while the jnani is alive even while dead. And he also is dead while even alive. Because the jnani is beyond birth and death. The jnani is limitless, and you are that jnani. You are beyond restrictions. You are beyond what people tell you you are. You are beyond what you even tell yourself. The reason that we panic when thinking of death is because we forget that we are God. The reason we have fear is because we don't realize that we are actually the creator of fear, quite literally. God creates demons and he creates angels. God creates problems and then he creates a solution. As Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, all these people participating in the war are but me in disguise. So God is both the devil and the good guy, and he is both neither. Because when we look at life as a devotee has paid attention, just like Shakyamuni Buddha, the devotee starts to notice that nothing lasts. Nothing leads to his true satisfaction or her true satisfaction. Even the word satisfaction, the devotee realizes, is made up. It's BS, because all these words, all these concepts are BS. You know what isn't BS? Death. The truth that Buddha said, which life is suffering. Why is life suffering? Because it's constantly disappearing. It's constantly ending as soon as it began. Almost like a torture chamber. But this torture chamber is self-created. Because before all these concepts were created, before we even had the idea of being a self, we just were as we were, existing. When a man is in a coma, he's not aware he's alive, but yet he is still alive. So you don't need to think I am alive to be alive, because you are just pure being. Unconcerned with what comes and goes, you should be. As Sayyid Siddhar Meswar said, let the world be drowned, a saint doesn't care. A saint has no worries. A saint is beyond this world. A saint is not a saint in the eyes of others. A saint is a saint because he refuses to let himself suffer. A saint isn't concerned with the suffering of others because there are no others. A saint is concerned with not being cruel to himself. Not being cruel to himself by fearing the inevitable, fearing loss, fearing attachment. As Sayyid Siddhar Meswar says, you should have no concern who gets help from you achieving self-realization. You should achieve self-realization for yourself, and naturally people will be benefited. Enlightenment is actually the most selfish goal in the world, because it's you wanting to be completely independent. And I don't mean selfish in a negative way, but selfish in a way where you've finally decided to not let the world dictate how much you fear, how much you worry, how happy you feel, how safe you feel. You realize that even in a home, you are always homeless, so there's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to be concerned about because it was never there. Throughout our lives, we've feared death, and then the Guru comes with the truth of shunyata, which is emptiness. The emptiness which is always there, which we can't run away from. Moments go by and they lead to nowhere. They lead to absolutely nowhere, and it's actually very beautiful. Because reality is so empty, it can be filled so much. It can be enjoyed so much. The struggle that we face is that we don't see how beautiful life is because we want it to be a version of what we want it to be. Realizing we don't even want that kind of responsibility. Not even God wants that kind of responsibility. This is why God is spontaneous. God is free of all responsibilities. God just is as he is as she is. The Divine Mother is concerned with the forms that come out of her because she knows that the forms that she can create are limitless. And God is so wonderful. God is so humble, Chinnamasta. She cuts off her head, her own ego, to give birth to so many forms. That's the beauty of God, and that's why we have to love God so much, is because God has no form. God has many forms, but God is not limited to one form, and that's the ultimate sacrifice. Because God is beyond form, because God is beyond a specific tied down image, even though God comes in many images, that is how God gives birth to so many beautiful events, is that God is beyond an event. God is like the mother who works hard to get her son to all her soccer games, and yet sits in the background cheering. Even though she's the one who provided him nutrition, she's the one who drove him there, she's the one who paid for the team so he could compete with the team, yet she sits in the background and lets him be a star. That's how God is. God is that great Divine Mother who is playing with us, providing us everything, and she lets us think that we are doing it. That's how funny the Divine Mother is. She laughs at us when we say, I do something. She laughs. But the Divine Mother is so kind that she allows us to think that we do something. But the more that we fall in love with the Dharma, the more we fall in love with death. Because we realize that no matter how much we hate death, we need it. In the same way, like that friend who tells you the truth when you don't want to hear it, but you know you need it. And this is why the Guru is the ultimate friend. Because so many people in life, because they don't even mean to hurt you, but because they have attachments to you, they tell you what you want to hear. They tell you that heaven will make you happy because they think that they are making you happy by telling you that. But this is false. Don't look for death to make you happy. Don't look for something else to make you happy. It's impossible because you have to be happy now. A lot of people look to heaven, death to free them, because people who want heaven fear death the most, because they don't want to face the reality of death, so they create a reality that's perfect in their mind to try to defeat death. But the one who accepts death now is in heaven now. So many people make the mistake of hoping that the afterlife will make them completely happy. But let's say you're in a relationship and you die and you're in heaven and you're looking down and you see your wife marry somebody else, or you see your husband marry somebody else. Are you going to be happy in heaven? So it's funny that when we think that there's some magical place where we'll be completely happy. And yes, there's many realms where you can live in infinite opulence based on your karma, but that doesn't mean you will be satisfied. The senses will be satisfied, but your true nature will never be satisfied. And this is why death is so beautiful, because it's only when the devotee loses something is when he really gains. It's only when the devotee suffers that he can get and is poor in this world that he can gain infinite wealth. The beauty of being spiritually poor is that it gives us an opportunity to be spiritually wealthy. So no matter how much in our life that we've been paying attention to materialism, no matter how many slips and falls that we have, when we're dedicated to the Dharma, the Guru's teachings, we can never fall. We can never fall. So many times in life, Maya will try to grip and grab at you to convince you that you're worthless, that you're stuck in the labels that people put you in. But this is exactly why the ego has to die. Because it's death that is your greatest friend, because it gives you the opportunity for everlasting rebirth. But when you betray death, when you look at death as ugly, it treats you ugly. But when you embrace death, when you run with death, it runs with you. So we can't fear death, because it allows us to be limitless. And the Dharma always has our back in reality, because the Dharma is the ultimate slayer of suffering. And death is actually a great teacher. Sage Narada Muni, his mother died of poison. His kind mother, she was very affectionate, but she died bitten by a snake. And Narada Muni said, this is supreme time. He had learned from his guru, so he said, this is supreme timing. So Narada Muni, even though this poor boy had lost his affectionate mother, because of his guru's teachings, he saw this as a blessing from God. This is supreme timing. Because Narada Muni lost his mother, because of death taking his mother away, Narada Muni became even closer to God. And this is why, even though he's lived so many years ago, I'm talking about him to this day. Because instead of letting death defeat him, instead of letting Maya defeat him, he took the sword of the Dharma given to him by the Guru and slayed Maya. He slayed suffering. He refused to be unhappy because he was given an unfair deck of cards. He doesn't care. He throws away the cards. He doesn't care. He doesn't care because he has the Dharma. One who has the Dharma has no concerns, has no worries. He abides in his true nature. A devotee of the Sadguru can't be defeated by life. As Sri Krishna says, by engaging in devotional service to me, my devotee washes away all sins that he might have committed. So it doesn't matter. Die, so you can truly live. Don't fear death. Embrace it, hug it, and I promise it'll hug you. Don't fear the Divine Mother. When she's ripping you apart, she's creating you anew. It'll feel painful at first, but in the end, it'll feel wonderful. Just like a needle ingests into somebody a drug to stop them from feeling pain due to a horrible accident. But really, that drug is helping them heal. The needle hurts at first, but the drug is helping them calm down and their body relax so they can finally heal. So let the Divine Mother spin you how she wants to. because she's gonna do it anyway. And if you try to force the Divine Mother into a version of what you want her to be, she'll whoop your ass every time. So stop running away from death. Face it, and I promise it'll run away from you.
Let it make all that I know as the Cajun theme. Just a killer come to call from some awful dream. Oh, I know you come to see. You just stand there in the glass.